Welcome to 4.5 Marks. This is random bullshit that we're going to be talking about. I'm your host, the goddamn professional. Me, the victimizer.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys are throwing me off right now. So, you had a question about heel work.
Yes, I did actually. I asked if it's better for a debut from face to heel to be simple or more complicated. Like which one as a fan, which one would you prefer to see?
It all depends on the story.
Mm.
So, one example that I was going to give you was we have like a semi-complicated one we had Becky Lynch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's just like turns in general. So a couple of years ago, we had Becky Lynch, right? She had worked her way to try to get her second shot at the women's title, to try to win her shot, or she got her shot against Carmella. She wanted her to become a 2-time women's champion. And then Charlotte Flair kind of inserted herself into the match, so it became a triple threat. And Charlotte ended up winning. They were friends, so she congratulated her. And then she turned on her. And the whole thing of it was like she was tired of being in the spotlight, or like not being in the spotlight, that Charlotte was taking her spot, all this and that. So it was, but the fans did not like Charlotte. So to the fans, she was a face.
What?
The fans viewed her as a good guy because they understood how she felt. They understood her being the shadow of someone else who's always taking the top prize over and over again. So naturally, she turned into a heel, and naturally she just turned into a face.
So kind of like the fans' perception kind of changes of them?
Correct. Sometimes that does happen too. Sometimes like the fans turn on you. Another one is here's a big example, right? Rocky Maivia. He started off as a face. He did not get over. The fans hated him, and because of that hate, we got one of the greatest professional wrestlers in The Rock.
Oh,
yeah. People hated him as Rocky Maivia, and then he turned heel because the fans turned him heel, and it worked. It worked so well.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
he was always The Rock.
Nope, he was Rocky Maivia.
Well, it was Dwayne Johnson first.
Well,
Johnson.
Yeah. I mean, you're an advocate of the show. Tell him what show to watch.
Oh, Young Rock, yeah. Watch Young Rock. It's on Peacock. He does it very well and enjoyable and easy. Like, hey, here's his history. Like, each episode does kind of bounce around in the sense of like, hey, this is just like his history as a kid. This is him as a teenager. This is him like starting. Like the first season is very much just what in life led him to decide I'm gonna become a wrestler.
Mm.
So, and then season 2, I want to say was more of like his start and like trying to get into the business and starting off and trying to find his niche and everything. And then season 3 definitely went into more of his history, like establishing himself and then like leaving kind of WWE. And then season 4 got canceled. But
I didn't know it got canceled.
Yeah, NBC didn't pick it up. So there's still talks of hopefully that some other network will pick it up for another season. But I very much enjoyed it. Very much enjoyed it. But it's really cool to see also just not only like just see it truly like I guess dramatized of like, hey, like this is how you got whatever, but also just hear a little bit more of like the backstories and how get some insight. You get other wrestlers being played by actors, but like maybe not direct of like this is how I felt, this is what whatever.
So it's not like Dark Side of the Ring where like
no. Think of did you ever watch Everybody Hates Chris?
Yes.
It's kind of think of it kind of like that, but it jumps around.
Okay.
Yeah. It's more of like, hey, they're like, because in this, they're like in 20 whatever, like in the future, and The Rock is running for president. He's like relating each story, so he's like, they're flashbacks. Yeah. They're flashbacks.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's so random.
I'm just saying, The Rock for president.
Weird.
Yeah,
I'd vote for him.
I'd vote for him too. But yeah, that's kind of the whole thing of it. It all depends on, is there a story? Is the story good for it? Another like example would be it sometimes could just be because of again like I mentioned, it could be because of the fans. Another good example involving The Rock was WrestleMania. Was it 19? Hogan versus Rock.
I think so.
So Hogan versus Rock. Hogan went in as the heel because he had just come back from WCW, and The Rock went in as a face. But because this was Hulk Hogan coming back to WWE, to the company that he grew, and at the biggest show of them all, the fans were just over. At the beginning of the match, he changed to a face, and Rock became the heel in the match. It happens. Another thing. Again, fans and sometimes hometown city. MJF is arguably the biggest heel right now, and he hates everybody. He's better than everybody, but he did a show for Creative Pro Wrestling, which is they train wrestlers, and that's where he learned to wrestle. And he went back to do their first show. And he was over, and he was a face, and he acted like a face, but he was still very, very much a heel, because when he spoke, he's like, everybody else in this world, I will not wrestle in front of disgusting people, but there is no disgusting people in Long Island, New York, which is where he's from and where everybody's at, and so he wrestled for them.
So the crowd basically just influences things a lot more than I previously thought. Then
they can.
Well, I kind of feel like. Even like the most recent example is LA Knight. They were trying to push him as a heel, but he was just so over. They were kind of forced to turn him face.
Yeah, and he's still kind of doing some heel stuff here and there.
I feel like he's more of he's doing heelish kind of things, but he's kind of like in that Randy Orton role where it's like people love him so much, he can still he's like that, like he's that anti-face, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're
a
still
tweener.
a face. Yeah, you're a good tweener.
Yeah. Here's an example you can relate to.
A tweener?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a tweener in between. Here's an example that you can relate to, right? Who's the guy that we're so hyped on in the local scene?
Actually, I was about to mention that.
Our boy Kid.
I was going to talk about Donnie from Popsicle.
Oh well, that's recent, but but Kid specifically has always been kind of a tweener. We love him. Here, he's a face to us. We understand his actions, but
that Swordfish and SeaWorld deserved it.
Yeah, exactly.
So did Olive Garden.
I mean,
Dude.
Dwight deserved it too.
I've ever since I found out that Kid got banned from every Olive Garden for trying to steal their silverware, I have silently been protesting them by never eating at Olive Garden. So
I guess we're not part of the family.
Nope. The only family I'm a part of is Vin Diesel.
Okay. Okay, I still want to see round 2 with the Swordfish.
Same.
So, but yeah, that's one of like local scene. Like with us and some of the other crowd, like he's over with us. He's a face to us, but to everybody else, he's a heel, and no one likes him.
That sucks.
Yeah, and sometimes it's depending who you go against, right? Like Kid's always our boy, but we had that match with Kid versus Duke.
I will Duke.
Yeah, so it's one of those things.
I guess I see. I mean, that also reminds me when Donnie ended up like kind of turning, but not really.
Yeah,
the crowd was really with him on it. So I guess would he be a heel or would he be the face?
So in terms of he still respects the fans. To the fans, he's still a face until he turns away from the fans.
Okay.
But to Tim, he's a heel. Because, in a sense, Tim didn't do anything wrong. He voiced how he felt, and Donnie took it personally.
That's very it's a lot more complicated than that. So
exactly.
A heel isn't just a heel to everybody, but they can also be a face.
Again, this is the point where it's like it can be as simple or as complicated as you want it to be.
Okay, I see.
MJF hates everybody. He's better than everybody.
And people love him for that.
But he's also like an asshole. So no one really... People love him, but they also really hate him.
Well, I mean, they love to hate him. Wouldn't that be the thing? I feel like I've heard Jabrim said that's a good heel. So when you really like to hate that person.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard him say that before, I'm pretty sure.
It's a good heel is when you truly do not like that person and what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So,
well, and I feel like the Miz. I feel like the Miz will always be and Dolph Ziggler. They're solid heels.
Yeah.
They're good at what they do, right? But then I kind of think of like Austin Theory, like when he first came to the main roster, was the whole selfie gimmick and everything. I honestly didn't think he was like a good heel in the sense of like I'm loving what he's doing. I just thought I was like I just hate this gimmick.
Yeah.
Other people loved it to hate him because he was being pushed off as like the new like Vince protege and Vince is my daddy. I'm just personally just never been a fan of. It's like I don't even like you as a heel. Like I don't even like you as a heel. I just don't care for you. I don't want to see you at all. But not because you're like I'm loving to hate you. It's just because I truly just don't care for you. Like you can get Featured Endeavor and I'd be like, wouldn't follow you.
Yeah.
Where like MJF, if the Miz even if they ever got released unsuspectedly, I'd still be like, I'm following them. Like, where are they now? What are they doing now?
Mm-hmm. And then you have like so we talk about like you have your good reasons for being a heel or like changing to a heel or to a face, and then you have your bad reasons, like Big Show. Big Show has the most changes out of any wrestler. He's literally changed it with like twice in one night.
So actually, let me ask you this.
Why?
I just started to kind of think about it. I don't know why you mentioned that, and in my head, I immediately just started thinking like Batman and
Joker? Superman?
not Joker. Oh my god, Harvey. Is it Harvey? Two-Face.
Harvey Dent, yes.
Yeah, Two-Face.
Yeah.
What if someone had a character like that where they were face or heel based off like a gimmick?
Oh.
Do you think you would enjoy that?
Maybe.
Because I don't know why. Because like I said, you said Big Show, and I knew exactly where you're going, and then that just popped up in my head. Like, if done right, I think that could work.
If done right,
I think that could be solid.
So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Big Show change. It just is one of the things. That's the other thing. You got to have like your time to breathe on them, right? And if something's not working, you got to have a change. Your biggest change would be being a heel or a face, changing what you were, your alignment.
I guess it really like falls down to like what the fans are feeling at the moment, as well as like how good your performance and your mic skills are at that point. No, then
Right, exactly.
Like how good you can actually like hype up the crowd for like what you're about to do.
Yeah. Well, look at like here Dominic, right? As a face, he wasn't getting over.
It was a face at some point
At the beginning, yeah, when he was teaming with his dad, he was tag team champions with his dad. But yeah, Dominic was
before the mullet.
Yeah, before the mullet.
Before the mullet.
But once he got the mullet, he was a heel.
The powers of the mullet.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But now he's a heel.
All
and
that pachanga, it went to his head.
But now he's a heel, right? And
Just
so
to get my cut.
he just doesn't. He's now over it as a heel. People do not like him because of his work, right? It's not nothing. It's not because he's not a good wrestler. It's because he's good at not being liked.
Yeah,
Like, you've seen
I've seen it. Yeah,
pay-per-views and everything where like people booed him so much, where like he can't speak.
Yeah,
the
Who else has
freaking
that nuclear heat right now?
yeah.
the people who are like narrating are always like also bashing on him too.
Oh, commentary.
The commentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
kinda help
big
drive
time,
that,
big time.
Also, like, when do you want to be with mommy? That's the other thing. It's like it's a point of that jealousy at some point too.
Dude, Buddy Murphy was so cautious about that. He had to put a ring on it.
Yeah, he
He
did.
was like, let me remind people who she with.
Yeah, he also Max Caster came out and started like doing his whole rap. He was going to mention it. Buddy Murphy did not give him any time. He dove on him. It was great. So yeah,
Wow. Okay.
there's different things. There's also again complicated storylines, right? Here's a really good one. In WWE, Aleister Black, now Malachi Black, right?
Mhm.
He took the story with him, but no one really knew about this. But looking back, I saw the signs on it. But he mentions it. His whole character is that he is the devil, but he forgot he is the devil, and that's his whole story. That's who his character is in WWE. And then once he was like coming back from an injury, that's when he remembered who he was, and that's why he turned. It's because he's like, oh, I know who the fuck I am now, and it's time to remind everybody else who I am. And then he got released from WWE, and he kept that story going.
Okay. I see. I dig it.
Yes.
All right, I guess that explains it. Very complicated stuff.
Yes. It's there's a thing called wrestling psychology, and there it is for you.
Wrestling psychology.
Yes.
Well, I guess must have a degree in that.
A little bit. I'm working on it. But
I know.
I think
You know,
I think that's it for this video.
I think my head's already fried.
we're,
Thanks for all the information.
Yeah, a lot of information. I hope you enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. Tell your Tio Juan, tell your Uncle Bob, your Aunt Janine, tell them to call the icon.
He
And
hasn't been the same since.
he hasn't been the same since. So, like, comment, share, subscribe, and get fucked.